to enjoy our contests.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another build guide. So today's build was a request from one of my subscribers. He asked if we can do a build with the Actum Butcher X weapon. So I actually forgot this weapon completely. I haven't even tried, doing anything with this. And I said, all right, while we are at it, let's do a heavy strike build. So yeah, this was it. So I'll just explain what I did, what we came up with, all the usual stuff, items, and even the talent tree. So yeah, we are gonna explain all of that. So before going further, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, join my Discord if you want to chat with me, give me some build ideas, those kind of stuff. And because the new league is coming soon, I'm preparing a lot of full build guides. So if you want, maybe if you have any suggestions, maybe also that is a place, the Discord is a place to talk with me. And I also started a Patreon, so you can just support the channel, because again, I am not making any money. If you don't know, I'm not making any money right now, so you can just support the channel. And I'm also offering more services to higher tier members, so consider checking them if you are rich, if you are feeling for it. Let's just start right now. So Actum Butcher X, some physical damage. The main downside is you have no intelligence, so the character is pretty much brainless. But if you just don't use any jewels, gems, and items that requires no intelligence, you don't have actually any problems. So something like maybe Enlighten, I don't know, maybe some items that require intelligence, you cannot use anything like that. I believe you can maybe use the Timeless Jewel, Elegant Hubris something, Caspiro maybe, if I remember the name correct. Maybe you can use that and use other items. I haven't actually tested that, because that keystone actually removes any attribute requirements from items, stuff like that. So maybe you can check that. If that works, go for that, but I haven't checked. The challenge was to use nothing with intelligence. All right. Also, critical strike chance is 30%. That is the maximum roll, by the way, for hits with this weapon. So this means that your crit chance is actually 30 all the time. You cannot actually increase your crit chance at all. So something like Battle Fate, the most expensive DPS flask, is actually useless for this build. So this is a lower budget build actually. So if you are looking for something like that, this is your build. But we picked Heavy Strike because it is dumb. But actually Heavy Strike is a viable skill. Most people don't even know, but I have played with it a couple of times, and there were a couple of videos maybe over a year ago in my channel. Maybe if you are following me for a long time, you already know that. So Heavy Strike is actually a very good skill, but the main reason that I picked Heavy Strike is because it has a lot of double damage chance. So just a little crit chance, 30%. With Diamond Flask it is actually effective, 50 something like that crit chance. So actually Diamond Flask works. And double damage, that's pretty much it. So sometimes you deal very little damage, but if you can get those crits and double damages at the same time, the boss is just dead. So the burst potential of this build is very good actually. Plus we are playing a Berserker. Because these weapons are very slow, I wanted to stack Rage. So our character has also 100 Rage. So yeah, we are also using, let's just check. Create the Slaughter, Rage on it, plus 10 Rage from Berserker. Rite of Ruin, inherent effects from having Rage are tripled. So this means that Berserker actually gains more attack damage, increased attack damage, let's say, per Rage, compared to other classes, also attack speed and movement speed. That's why without Rage this character is pretty much shit. You cannot do anything. So you have to actually plan your Berserk on big bosses. So you need to make sure that the boss is gonna die once you press your Berserk, because if you run out of your Rage, it is very hard to generate all of them again. We are obviously using chain hook setup, as you already watched in the videos. That is the pretty much the best way to get Rage these days in bosses. So yeah, you pretty much need to maximize your DPS in bosses, so don't make any mistakes in some Maven Invitation, those kind of maps. So yeah, other than that, Flawless Savagery, a lot of physical damage if you have dealt a crit multiplier. Crit chance is useless. Blitz, this actually has a downside, normally reduced crit chance per Blitz charge, but for this build this doesn't have any downside, just more attack speed per Blitz charge, a lot of attack speed. So this is pretty much it. Let's just explain the rest of the items real fast. So yeah, the idea was to stack Rage, double damage, those kind of stuff. For helmet, Heavy Strike, has a chance to deal double damage. That is probably the best enchant. Maybe Berserker buff effect, that is also good. But I want some more chance on my double damage, you know, so I can kill bosses easier, because double damage. Because we have a little crit, we also need some double damage. Yeah, that's why we need some more RNG, so we can have a better DPS. The helmet was just actually just a straightforward helmet, life resist, that's it, nothing even special. I didn't want to invest that much in this build, so maybe you want to try it. Again, this build doesn't even have a battle fate or something like that, because that is pretty much useless. So we actually skipped lots of expensive pieces. Chest. This is probably the most expensive piece that we have. Socket attacks have minus 15 mana cost, because this is a very fast build, even with very slow X, you know, Actum. You need to actually lower your mana cost, so this is a perfect way. Plus additional curse, plus attacks have crit. If you think you don't have any mana issues, maybe you can skip that. You can actually craft those minus 7, I believe, right now, mana cost to skills on your rings, and skip this chest entirely. Just get attack crit and curse. That is way cheaper. Yeah, because I don't have any mana cost reduction on my rings actually, so you can also do that. Gloves, Tomb Fist, only one socket, because I wanted to get something with vulnerability to use that double curse. My other curse is on my ring. We are gonna explain that later. Vulnerability curse for some physical damage, plus a murder size socketed in the only socket that we have. To get some Intimidate. Intimidate is 10% increased damage taken to enemies, so a lot of DPS from this gloves. And only one socket. Again, you can also buy a 2-socket one, but that's gonna be very expensive, because Tomb Fist is actually a very good item, even though not many people use these days, but this is actually a very powerful item. What else? Boots, again, straightforward, life, resist, move speed, not even a tailwind, nothing. Because again, I wanted to just skip some extra investment. I didn't want to, you know, spend 100 Exile and make a viable build. I just wanted you to see that you can actually do a viable build if you are, you know, I couldn't find the word. I just forgot what I said. You can actually do viable builds even with less investment, let's say, if you know what you are doing. If you are clever, let's say, because this build has no intelligence, but we are not stupid, alright? We are making some good builds. Amulet, again, a lot of crit multiplier, but again, this doesn't even have a downside for this build. Less crit strike chance, because our crit is already 30%, this doesn't even work, so we don't have any downside, you know, we don't get any downside. So we are actually using some of these kind of items, special items that normally has a downside maybe, or the Berserker's Blitz, you know. We are actually not getting any downsides from these items. A lot of crit multiplier, accuracy, crit save, calling strike, which is very good to kill bosses faster. And for anoint, I even anointed discipline and training. That is a life anoint. We don't have any DPS on the amulet. Rings, physical damage to attacks overall. If you are not capped at accuracy, accuracy is very important. Resist, if you want more life, Vermilion rings. If you want more DPS, steel rings. If you need resist, 2-stone rings, topaz rings, whatever. Life, obviously. If you want to skip that minus 15 mana cost chest, again, just craft minus 7, I believe, right now after the nerf. Mana cost to skills on both of your rings, so that makes 14 minus mana cost. You can even use Fertile Catalysts to increase that to 8, I believe. So that will be 16 mana cost total. And don't forget to get Assassin's Mark on one of your rings if you have a chest with apply additional curse. So you can both apply that vulnerability and Assassin's Mark. If you don't have an vulnerability curse gloves, you can also use an Assassin's Mark or vulnerability, just pick one. A ring, because rings also have vulnerability, so you can also do that. So you can maybe play with a cheaper chest if you want. So this is pretty much about the rings. Finally, Beer's Girdle, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Leather belt, life, physical damage to attacks, nearby enemies are crushed, but I don't think this works. I don't actually quite know, you know. Crushed means that the monsters have less physical damage reduction or armor, something like that. I'll just put it on the screen, you know, the description. If I learn if this works or not, I will just put a note on the screen right now, so check that. The main reason we are using is actually plus 20 maximum range. That's why we picked this belt. But again, maybe that crush also works. We are gonna see. I'm just gonna put a hint, you know, tip, whatever. Note, yeah, note. I will just put a note on the screen, alright? And that's pretty much it. Let's just check the gems and the talent tree in the path of building section real quick. Thread of Hope, large ring, so we can get Panopticon, a lot of buffs from our totems, which we are using at bosses obviously. Some X stuff, Impale effect, Impale chance, this is how you cap your Impale, but without this we actually have 97%, which is not bad, so you can maybe skip this little point, but I just wanted to min-max it, you know, because my character is already high level, because it's been more than 2 months, so my characters are high level right now. Some dual wield action, again another X stuff, and plus maximum rage, 5 rage, so this is a very good place to put some Thread of Hope. Let's just continue. So these are the jewels that you need for heavy strike. You need at least 40 strength in the radius, it doesn't have to be allocated, so this is a good place to put one of these. Weight of Empire jewel, a 20% chance to deal double damage. Heavy strike already has a base double damage chance, and plus these 2 jewels, 40% plus helmet enchant, 12%. A lot of what's this, double damage from jewels and helmet enchant, so make sure you use these because this actually provides a lot of DPS, as you can see. And these are only like 1 alchemy, because these are trash, no one plays heavy strike. This is actually a very cheap build compared to lots of the other builds. This even has a corrupted blood immunity, and I bought this for 5 chaos. Yeah, where's that? Yes, more attack speed and plus rage, so we have 100 rage total. Because let's just explain it real quick. Rite of Ruin has a downside, actually lose life per second per rage, because we have 100 rage. We actually have a lot of degeneration, so you can see that my life regeneration is actually minus. That's why we are also getting call to arms, so our war cries are instant, and I am using Enduring Cry whenever my life is low, plus a life flask if necessary. So maybe between some phases in some bosses like Cirrus, you actually lose life if you are at maximum rage. If you are not at maximum rage, let's just say, it actually is written here, where you are not losing rage. So if you don't do anything for a couple of seconds, you start losing rage. That time you actually lose that, you actually don't lose that life. Yeah. So if you just generated your rage, you actually lose life for maybe like 4 seconds. So you have to, you know, use that Enduring Cry with call to arms. That's why we picked that. Where's that? I'm just gonna explain the gems real quick, but I just wanted you to understand why we picked that. Enduring Cry. So you actually recover some life for free, because this is a gem, so you don't need to waste your flask. That's a good way to, you know, counter that. That's why we picked this. A large jewel, just some generic large jewel action. Resist damage, Iron Breaker, Furious Assault. You can maybe get Force Multiplier, I believe, the one with double damage. Maybe that is even better. I don't know why I am using this. I haven't actually checked that. You can also go for that for more double damage action. A Fatal for some life. A Butcher's Eye, obvious choice is Impales, you inflict last 2 additional hits. This is the best one for Impale builds. You can actually get a double damage one, maybe. Maybe you can get 100% double damage. I haven't actually calculated. You can also do maybe something like that with Pride plus that Force Multiplier, large jewel. Maybe you will have more double damage chance, and maybe that can be even better, but I'm not sure because this already provides a lot of DPS. The Impale last 2 additional hits is actually very powerful for its price. And nothing else. Yeah, I forgot this. Replica Conqueror's efficiency. Non-channel skills have -9, so it is easier to, you know, zero your mana cost actually. As you can see, this is the last 9 mana cost that I need actually. And plus 5 maximum rage, a lot of rage total. Let's see if I am using any normal jewels. No, actually all my jewels are uniques and some clusters. Finally some gems, let's just check those. Body armor setup, heavy strike, multi-strike, because this is a fast strike build. Brutality, if you have the budget, awakened obviously, a lot of physical damage. Close combat, because this is a melee build, a true melee build, so you will have a lot of damage based on your proximity, which is the boss's feet, you know, you are attacking at the boss's ass, more or less, you know. That's why close combat is a very good gem for some, not some, a lot of DPS. This is the most DPS gem, I believe, for these kind of skills. Impale, obvious choice, because this is an Impale build. And Fortify. If you are crazy, if you want to corrupt your weapons, I corrupted a couple of these, but no luck. If you can get a fortify on hit chance, Actum actually, you can skip fortify and use something else. Let's see. Awaken melee physical, maybe even more DPS. Let's just check real quick. Wow, 8 million additional damage, so this is actually way better. But it is hard to get a fortify Actum. And maybe Ruthless, this is also very good. And I believe, where's that? One of these is actually better. Yeah, this one. So this is also very good. Cheaper because Awaken melee's physical damage is expensive, obviously. So yeah, if you have fortify from maybe weapon, you can also do something like this. But we are gonna skip it right now. But you know that you can do this. Buffs, Red Banner, Impale effect, nothing more. Flesh and Stone, you just need to press Flesh and Stone at bosses so you are in blood stance so you can deal more damage. While mapping, we are using it in sand stance. That's why you actually blind nearby enemies, so you are tankier. This is not Anomalous, by the way, default. You can get Anomalous because it gives evasion rating and armor, but I haven't, so that's why this is actually the thing that I used. And Pride, physical damage to nearby enemies, stacks to 40% if the enemy stays for 4 seconds. Most enemies die in maybe 2 seconds. All the Conquerors, they just die in 1 second, you know. Just Drox survives because it is Drox. You can just one-shot him with some one-shot build that I have actually in my channel. You can check those. Other than that, yeah, that stacks to 40%. Val, Ancestral Warchief, Totem for boss DPS. Just use the Val cooldown, you don't need the normal one. But if you don't have this, you should maybe use the normal one. But I am not actually using multiple totems, so that's why you cannot actually summon a normal Warchief plus Protector at the same time. That's why I'm not actually using multiple, because I'm not using this. I just use the Val at big bosses, that's it. We don't use this, yeah. Enduring Cry, that I explained earlier, to recover my life if I am between some phases, you know, in bosses. That's why this is very important actually, if you don't want to waste your life flask. Ancestral Protector, again, additional totem for some attack speed, because this is a different totem actually. And Phantasmal even gives buff effect, which is more attack speed. Maim, so the target is maimed. That's why Flesh and Stone actually gives us additional damage, because enemies maimed by this skill take 16% increased physical damage. That's why this is very good. This is a good combination. But we are also maiming with this 20% chance to maim enemies on crit strike. But if you want a higher chance to maim, so you can just delete the boss sooner, this is a good place to put maim. But maybe you can skip this. And is this not ticked? Why the DPS is low? No, what the... I'm not sure why my DPS is lower right now, but maybe this is better, because this has actually enemies made by support skills take. Yeah, maybe this is why. Or maybe the pedo building is broken, I'm not sure. So just use this or multiple totems if you want to summon these two at the same time. But again, if you have Val ready, you don't need multiple totems, because Val already has +1 maximum number of summon totems. That's why you don't need a multiple totem support normally. That's why this is what I came up with. This is better in my opinion. Berserker, so you want to press at a boss and just delete the boss. Again, use this careful, because you don't want to get run out of all your rage and the boss is not dead. Maybe you messed things up. So make sure that you press this if you know that the boss is gonna die. Otherwise, you're gonna lose 100 rage, which is pretty much all your DPS. As you can see, bam, nothing left. So you need that rage to kill bosses. Make sure you use it wise. Alright. Leap Slam, mobile skill, faster attacks to attack faster, and life tap, so it is free. You can use this as level 1 if you want. The level doesn't matter actually. And that's pretty much it. Solaris, take no extra crit if you have taken a crit. That's pretty much the only reason I am using this. Solo Veralakesh cannot be blinded, cannot be maimed. You can use other Pantheons. Pantheons are not that important in this game, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. The guide is finished, you know. I will see you later, guys. Bye bye.